President Trump just announced worldwide reciprocal tariffs, and a lot of people out here are freaking out.
Starting tomorrow, the United States will implement reciprocal tariffs on other nations.
If you're a business owner in the US, here's what it could mean for you. I'm Joel from ASP, and after helping tons of businesses with their marketing strategies over the past decade, I want to walk you through what these changes might mean for you and your business and how to position yourself effectively. Real quick, before we dive in, a quick disclaimer: I am not a trade policy expert. I am not an economist or a political commentator. I won't be taking any stance one way or another on whether these tariffs are good or bad policy. If you're looking for a political video or a debate on trade theory, this ain't the one. My expertise is solely in marketing and helping businesses communicate effectively through change. And that's the perspective I'm bringing today, just practical advice for business owners, regardless of your political views. All right, so on April 2nd, 2025, President Trump signed an executive order implementing worldwide reciprocal tariffs. But what does this actually mean? In the simplest terms, reciprocal tariffs means the U.S. is imposing duties or taxes on imported goods. These are going to match what other countries apply to American exports, and the initial tariff rates start around 10% on nearly all imports, with country-specific rates potentially going higher. This is a significant shift in trade policy with real consequences for businesses of all sizes. Whether you rely on imported materials, compete with foreign products, or serve customers who might be affected by these changes, your business strategy may need adjusting. Let's break down what this actually means from a practical business perspective. So let's start with talking about your supply chain. If your business relies on imported materials, components, or even finished products, you're likely going to see a price increase. The base 10% tariff applies immediately, with some countries facing higher rates soon after. This creates several immediate considerations for business owners. First thing you need to do is audit your supply chain. Identify exactly which of your products or materials are imported and from which countries they come from. This will help you determine the specific impact on your business costs. Second, consider your options. These might include absorbing the cost temporarily, finding domestic suppliers, or strategically adjusting your pricing. Each approach has pros and cons depending on your specific business model and competitive landscape. Third, understand the exemptions. The executive order specifically exempts certain products like pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, copper, lumber, and energy products. If your business depends on these categories, you may be less affected. And remember, the tariffs on Canadian and Mexican goods are handled differently because of existing USMCA agreements and separate executive orders addressing border issues. Products qualifying as originating under USMCA have different treatments on non-qualifying goods. Now, what about local service businesses? You might think tariffs don't really affect you directly, but there are important secondary impacts to consider. If you're a contractor, landscaper, roofer, or run a similar service business, the tools, equipment, and materials you use may become more expensive if they're imported. This could squeeze your margins if you don't adjust your pricing strategy. However, there's also opportunity here. The executive order includes a key provision that tariffs only apply to the non-US content of products, provided at least 20% of the value is US originating. This creates a marketing advantage for businesses that use domestic products or services. For service businesses, transparency becomes your ally. If you need to adjust pricing, clearly communicate to customers why costs are changing and what value you continue to provide. In my experience, customers appreciate honest communication about external factors and affecting the prices. Another consideration is that your customers' financial situations may also change. If they are dealing with increased costs in other areas, discretionary spending on certain services might tighten. This means your value proposition and marketing must be especially compelling. So let's talk about how your marketing strategy should evolve in response to the tariffs. And based on my decade of experience helping businesses navigate marketing changes, here are the practical approaches that work. First, emphasize value over pricing. When costs rise across the board, competing solely on price becomes less viable. Instead, focus your marketing on the quality, durability, and long-term value of your offering. Help customers understand why your product or service represents a smart investment despite potentially higher prices. Second, highlight domestic sourcing. The executive order creates incentives for US production. If your business uses American-made materials or provides locally sourced services, this becomes a powerful marketing advantage. The Made in America message resonates strongly in this environment. Third, be transparent about pricing changes. If you need to adjust prices, explain why. Most customers understand external factors like tariffs if you communicate clearly. This builds trust while explaining necessary changes. The fourth thing is to differentiate through service excellence. When products costs rise, exceptional service becomes even more of an important differentiator. Consider how you can enhance the customer experience in ways that don't dramatically increase your costs. And finally, think about how your customers' businesses or lives are being affected by the same tariffs. This might change their needs, purchasing patterns, or even priorities. Anticipating these shifts allows you to adapt your offerings and messaging accordingly. Every marketing change creates both challenges and opportunities. Here's where I see potential advantages for forward-thinking businesses. If you already source domestically, your relative competitive position just improved against those heavily dependent on imports. So make sure your marketing emphasizes this advantage. For manufacturers and service providers, you have been competing against lower-priced imports. These tariffs may level the playing field. This could open new market segments that were previously challenging to compete in because of price. There's also a huge opportunity in becoming a solution provider. Businesses struggling with the tariff impact need partners who can help them navigate these changes, whether through alternative sourcing, process optimization, or even marketing that addresses changing customer concerns. Positioning your business as a part of the solution creates new avenues for growth. Another thing is the executive order also includes provisions that tariffs could be reduced for countries that take steps to address trade imbalances. This creates a fluid situation where staying informed and adaptable gives you an advantage over competitors who are slower to respond. So, the question is, what should you be doing right now? Based on my experience helping businesses navigate market shifts, here are 5 practical steps of things you should be considering right now. First, conduct a thorough assessment of how these tariffs affect your specific business model. Identify your vulnerable areas in your supply chain and quantify the potential impact on your costs. Second, develop a clear communication strategy for your customers. Determine how and when you'll explain any necessary changes to your pricing or offerings. Third, review your marketing messaging to emphasize domestic sourcing, quality, durability, and overall value rather than competing primarily on price. Fourth thing is to explore partnership opportunities with other businesses facing similar challenges. Sometimes collaborative approaches like group purchasing can help mitigate cost increases. And the fifth thing is to stay informed as the situation evolves. The executive order includes both provisions for increasing and decreasing tariffs depending on how trade partners respond and how manufacturing capacity develops. At ASP, we are committed to helping businesses not just survive, but thrive during economic transitions just like this one. So if you'd like more advanced guidance tailored to your business situation, visit aspbranding.com, where we provide resources for navigating these changes effectively. And always, you can contact us directly and we can help provide strategies directly for your business. And if you found this breakdown helpful, please subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. We'll continue providing practical, no-nonsense analysis of market changes that may affect your business. Thanks for watching, and remember, market changes create winners and losers. The businesses that adapt their marketing and operations most effectively are the ones that come out ahead. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.